The purpose of the directional fin is to provide directional stability. The vertical flight of a helicopter is controlled by collective pitch changes. If the travel of an airplane control is correct, but the cables are rigged exceptionally tight, what probable effect will this have when flying the airplane? The airplane will be heavy on controls. Which statement concerning the 100-hour inspection of the airplane equipped with a push-pull tube type control system is true? The threaded rod end should be checked for the amount of threaded engagement by means of inspection hole provided. The threaded rod end should be checked for the amount of thread engagement means of inspection hole provided. If a single rotor helicopter is in the forward horizontal flight, the angle of attack of the advancing blade is less than retreating blade. A helicopter in the forward flight cruise configuration changes direction by cyclic pitch, tilting the main rotor disc in the desired direction. If the rotor external loading, the ideal location of the cargo release is where the line of action passes through the center of gravity at all times. In rotor external loading, the ideal location of the cargo release is where the line of action passes through the center of gravity at all times. The vast majority of aircraft control cables are terminated with swag terminals. Must be checked with go, no-go gauge before and after to show compliance with manufacturer's requirement after the swagging operation. Check with go, no-go gauge before and after to show compliance with manufacturer's requirement before swagging operation. If a pilot reports that an airplane flies left wing heavy, this condition may be corrected by increasing the angle of incidence of the left wing. If the pilot reports that the airplane flies left wing heavy, this condition may be corrected by increasing the angle of incidence of the left wing or decreasing the angle of incidence of the right wing or both. The angle of incidence is that acute angle formed by a line parallel to the wing chord and line parallel to the longitudinal axis of the aircraft. The angle of incidence is that acute angle formed by a line parallel to the wing chord and a line parallel to the longitudinal axis of the aircraft. Fearlet should never deflect the alignment of a cable more than 3 degrees. Fearlet must not change the acute angle of alignment more than 3 degrees. Fearlet should never deflect the alignment of a cable more than 3 degrees. How much degrees should fearlet not deflect the alignment of a cable? 3 degrees. Washing in the left wing of a monoplane for purpose of rigging direction. Washing in the left wing is increasing the angle is both with. Washing in the left wing of the monoplane for purposes of rigging correction after flight tests will have what effect on the lift and drag of that wing? Both drag and lift will be increased due to increased angle of attack. The correct dihedral angle can be determined by measuring the angle setting of each wing at the rear spar with using the dihedral board and bubble level along the front spar of the wing. Let's see. A dihedral board and a bubble level are used along the front spar of each wing to determine the correct amount of dihedral when rigging an airplane. The correct dihedral angle can be determined by measuring the angular settings of each wing at the rear spar. Using a dihedral board and a bubble level along the front spar of each wing. A correct dihedral angle can be determined by using a dihedral board and bubble level along the front spar of each wing. Identify the cable that is used to primarily control system and other places where operation over pulleys are frequent. Number 3. The angle of incidence of an airplane at rest does not change when in flight. Washing in the left wing of a monoplane for purposes of rigging correction after flight test will have what effect on the lift and drag? Both lift and drag will increase due to increased angle of attack. The purpose of a wing slat is to reduce stalling speed. The purpose of the wing slats is to reduce stalling speed. Movement of the cockpit control towards the nose down position during a ground operational check of the elevator trim tab system will cause the trailing edge of the trim tab to move in which direction? Movement of the cockpit towards the nose down position during ground operational check of the elevator trim tab system will cause the trailing edge of the trim tab to move in which direction? Upwards, regardless of elevator position. Where does the breakage of the control cable wires occur more frequently? Breakage usually occurs where the cable passes over the pulleys and through the fairleads. Fairleads. Where does the breakage of the control cable occur more frequently? Breakage usually occurs where cables pass over pulleys through fairleads. The cable-operated control system of an all-metal airplane not incorporating temperature compensating device have been rigged to the correct tension in a heated hangar. If the aircraft is operated very cold weather, the cable tension will decrease when the aircraft structure cable become cold. I'm yawning, so let's take a rest and come back to it later. The cable-operated control system of an all-metal aircraft not incorporating temperature compensating device has been rigged to the correct tension in a heated hangar. If the aircraft is operated in very cold weather, the tension will decrease when the aircraft structure and cable become cold. So on all metal, so an all metal aircraft structure expands and contracts more than steel control cables. With changes in temperature, if the control tension is adjusted, when the aircraft is warm, the tension will decrease. When the aircraft becomes cold, more cables become cold. Most large aircraft have cable tension regulators to maintain a constant cable tension with changes in temperature. So let's take a break and come back to this later.